Good morning. Welcome to Shawnee Mission Unitarian Universalist Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. We're so happy that you've chosen this sanctuary and time, that you're here is something to celebrate. We extend an especially warm welcome to our visitors. We'll be waiting to chat with you at the welcome desk after the service. And if you're joining us online, please say hi in the chat. We now invite everyone to rise and greet each other.
Good morning. First of all, I am so sorry to everyone who watches online. Last week was the first time since we went into lockdown that we haven't streamed on Sunday morning. You are incredibly important to us, and it was sad to think of you all being cut off last weekend. So I wanted to take a moment to say hi to Dave in Edgerton, who watches, and with whom I email regularly about the service, the sound, and life. If you want to email me, I'll say hi to you during the service. Secondly, today is the Planning Your Own Memorial class, and even if you didn't come to the first one 2 weeks ago, we're going to do the first session over today, so just go ahead and stop by the boardroom at noon. It'll be an hour. Also, there is a Women in Femmes meeting today, a community circle in the multipurpose room at noon. Childcare will be provided. Kristen Kramer and Marty Johannes will facilitate and ask the questions, how might our lives have unfolded if a circle of wise women had surrounded us from the beginning? This will be a wonderful opportunity for self-reflection. Also, if you have a heart for little children, please consider volunteering in the nursery. By joining the team, parents can fully engage in the service more, and you get to spend time with little babies. Talk to Micah if you're interested. A background check is required. Now, today is the candy mix-up, so that means that after the service, grab your favorite piece of candy, and when you get into the sanctuary, you'll see your candy on a table, and then you sit at your table and you make friends with whoever shares your candy love. It's also going to be a new membership ceremony, so you'll get to hear interesting facts of new members. And now I'm very happy to announce that we have two exceptional congregants leading worship today. They are here to help us celebrate not just All Saints' Day, but rather All Souls' Day. Woohoo! Which includes us sinners and heretics as well. For as Bernie said, the saints are already in. The rest of us are the ones who need encouragement. Between the two of them, Bernie Norcott Mahaney and Courtney Carlson Lee have one parochial school Catholic education, 2 undergraduate degrees from Jesuit universities, 1 master's degree from a Jesuit degree in Greek, and 1 master's degree from the Marianists in theology, all Catholic. Woo! So this is a special service with them leading it. Also, we're so glad to welcome back Brant Chalicombe to play for our service today, and Will Luberoff for stepping up to lead the choir. And now we'll start with a moment of restfulness with the ringing bowl. Our opening reading is from a reimagining of our recent denominational statement of belief, love is at the center. It says, because we want to be here with one another, love is not only at the center, but also invites us to lament, celebrate, and care. Love invites us to honor our interdependence with all beings in the web of all existence. Love invites us to revel in the uniqueness, in pluralism as our guide. Love invites us to counter all forms of oppression with justice. Love invites us to participate in our individual and collective transformation. Love invites us to connect by opening our hearts to generosity. Love invites us to create inclusive, equitable communities. Love invites us now to worship together. Here in a few moments, we will be welcoming our newest members into the community. During that special time, we will offer a song of welcome, which we will now practice for our opening hymn. Come, let us worship. Please rise as you're willing and able for our opening hymn. There is room here next to me.
We are wide and deep the circle, there is room here next to me, as we caravan together on our shared journey. We extend to you our welcome, just as I was welcomed here, to see truth and live with purpose and
As Will Luberoff comes forward to light our chalice, we invite you to join us as we recite our covenant. Let us affirm that love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another.
And now let us celebrate that our community encourages us to question the things that have insulated us from ourselves, and celebrate our newest members as they take this step on their spiritual journeys. Membership in this free church is an invitation to dedicate your lives into the service of love in the kinship of community. It is the invitation to spend your lives with us, to spend them on that which is worthy and beautiful and good, and to take up your ministry, our ministry of showing love to a world that needs our care. Upon joining our congregation, members intend to show up for each other and for our world, week after week, that all might be renewed in the spirit of courageous love, reminded of our highest aspirations, and blessed by connection within, between, and beyond us. As a faith that is united not by creed, but by sacred vow, we promise to support one another in good times and in bad, to grow together on an adventure of the Spirit, and to work side by side for the healing of the world. This morning, we invite those who have joined us in formal membership since our last new member in gathering to come forward and be celebrated. There is no test of belief, only the requirement of commitment to this community. Please come forward as I call your name. Patrick Eslick Huff, Mark Semmet, Jenny Semmet, Tom Schmidt, Christy Schmidt, Lee Eslick Huff, Shauna Laws, Jeff Laws, Steve Kovac, Debbie Sawyer, Russell Thorpe, Kenneth Yeager, Liz Shellady, Thomas Davis, Shannon Fouquet, Jeff Fouquet, Wendy Nauman, Kay Lamp, Skip Diger, Vesnel Francois, Shenley Montplaisir, Travis Barnhart, Suzanne Sherman. And please, if there is anyone who I did not call, please come forward. Congregation, please rise as you're willing and able and change the slide. Please read with me, whether or not you're a member. We, the members of Shawnee Mission UU Church, welcome you into the membership of this community of faith. We are grateful for your commitment to our life together. We renew our promise to each other to seek meaning and truth in love, to respond to the calling of justice, and to be strengthened by our life together. We now extend this covenant to you. Welcome. And now, new members, on your piece of paper, please read together. I freely enter And now all together. Having affirmed one another and renewed our covenant, we now dedicate ourselves once more to our faith of courageous love in our community of radical welcome and deep connection. And now, in celebration of our new members, please remain standing and join me in singing "There Is Room Here Next to Me."
Welcome.
warmly greet all of our new members in the fellowship hall afterward. You may be seated. Hello. Oh. Could we please have all the children come forward? Hi. Hi. You have a monkey. You can sit next to your friend. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi. Hi, Naomi. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Okay, but let's have a seat in quietness. That's a stretchy pumpkin. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? Did you have a good Halloween? Good. Good. Well, I know you guys want to talk about Halloween, but I want to talk about this. Do you know what this is? You think it's a dictionary. It's the Bible. Yeah, it says the Bible. I'm glad you can read. It says Bible. Uh-huh. Annotated, the New Oxford Annotated Bible, New Revised Standard Version with the Apocrypha. Whoa. What's an Apocrypha, you ask? I'll tell you later. Yeah, we'll have a little, can't tell you now, because I don't want to. Okay. All right. It is a bad excuse. I have an idea. But this is part of the problem for me, is that I grew up UU in the 90s in the Midwest, and so I really did not receive much of an education on the Bible in any way. And then I went to college, and I had a Jewish Bible professor, and so I really had a beautiful introit into the Hebrew Scriptures. And then I went to seminary, and I really discovered just how powerful and gorgeous and complex the book is and historical. So I have really learned to love it. Did you grow up reading it, Micah?
Lord, is that you? Okay, just kidding. I did grow up with the Bible. I grew up Pentecostal. So, well, in my version of what Pentecostal is, it's a lot of like joyous Jesus singing, there's dancing, there's real fiery preaching, there's lots of this happening. So, yeah, that's kind of what I grew up with.
Well, what I really like about this book is that it really holds up under pressure. Like right now, you can probably tell that a lot of the grown-ups are stressed out, and there's like a lot of protests happening, and there's a lot of changes happening. Are you guys noticing that? Yeah, no. Well, lucky you. But a lot of you are noticing it, I can tell. Micah, what's one of the things that you're finding is a stressor or scary for you these days in the world?
I think for me, I just keep thinking about children coming home to empty homes, coming home and their parents have been taken or disappeared in some capacity. I'm also really nervous about folks who say that, like, this is our duty as an American because I'm an American, and that is not what I feel like my duty is. So that's kind of what's a little nerve-wracking for me right now.
What about you guys? Is there anything, yeah? Taxes and inflation, yeah. Poverty, yeah, yeah. The government fell asleep. It's a nice way to put it. What else? Yeah? Yeah, Donald Trump was elected. Tesla trucks. What else? What else is kind of strange and odd going on right now? Anything? That's what? Yeah, lots of things, yeah? There's a bunch of ice ads when you're trying to watch YouTube. No. Yeah, Yeah, it is scary. It's really scary. That's what Micah's talking about. What's really scary for me, especially as a minister, is that people are taking all that stuff that feels so wrong and confusing to us and saying that that's what the Bible says. And a lot of people are reading this book in a way that I find very disturbing and strange, which is scary because the book has a lot of power. So let me tell you, are you guys curious what the Bible really does say? Yes. Nod your heads. Yes. You have another thing you're stressed about? What is it? Mm-mm. Being 9 does not count. Yeah?
Just out of curiosity, because I haven't read that before, does it give you the recipe on how to make a Cybertruck?
No, the Cybertruck is not in the Bible, but there are like a lot of instructions about how to build an ark. In a big boat. A big boat, yeah. I take it back. Aging is something to truly be stressed about. Turning 10, yeah, it's your last year as a single digit. All right, let me tell you what this book really says. It says, I want all eyes on me. Look at me. Love thy neighbor. Do you guys have neighbors? Mm-hmm. Protect the vulnerable. Do you know any vulnerable people? Vulnerable means maybe you are vulnerable to ICE. You're vulnerable because you're poor, and if you have a health scare, you might not be able to pay for it. You're vulnerable because you're sick. Like when you are sick, you feel really vulnerable because you're like, oh, anything could hurt me, you know? The Bible also says, do no harm with your words or actions. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It says kindness to everyone, especially those close to you. I'm talking to you guys, sisters. Yeah. It says humble yourself to center other people's experience. Do you know what that means? It means that when someone's trying to tell you what they're going through and you don't want to hear it, you just take a deep breath and say, okay, I can listen. And lastly, the Bible teaches us to resist authority that is given only through money. Boom, mic drop. All right, you may go to your classes.
So today, we are going old school. In other words, we're going to go all biblical. This is from the Gospel of Luke. And this particular reading would be the reading that when I was in grade school, I would have singled out as the essence of the message. Just then, a lawyer stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus replied, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" The lawyer answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And Jesus said to him, "You have given the right answer. Do this, and you will live." But wanting to justify himself, he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell into the hands of robbers, who stripped him, beat him, and then they went away, leaving him half dead. Now by chance, a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, while traveling, came near him, and when he saw him, he was moved with pity. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine on them. Then he put him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper and said, "Take care of him, and when I come back I will repay you whatever more you spend." Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers? The lawyer said, "The one who showed him mercy." Jesus said, "Go and do likewise."
My friends, as the waits on a
Each month, we as a community take time to reflect on a theme. The children do this in their classes, and we do it here in worship and in our small groups. This month, the theme is nurturing gratitude, and today's service is centered around the theme, and who is my neighbor? So I've reflected on gratitude with that in mind. This quote by Melody Beatty in our resource packet helped me to connect these themes. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. At a time when our divided society pushes us to other at least half of the country, I've been trying to fight the persistent temptation to reject and dismiss everyone on the other side, to reject and dismiss not only their beliefs, but if I'm not careful, their humanity. Such thinking flies in the face of my core beliefs and values, as well as our UU covenant, which centers love and holds sacred the inherent worth and dignity of each and every person. And yet, I'm angry. I'm outraged much of the time by the lawlessness of this administration, by the mistreatment and abuse of undocumented people and even citizens at their hands. And I'm disgusted that they hang these actions under a banner of Christianity, and in some cases even openly identify the white Christian nationalism it indeed is. What they call Christianity is unrecognizable to me. I spent the first 30 years of my life as a Catholic and studied Christian and Catholic theology. Not long after leaving the church, I was visiting with some devout Christian friends who I grew up with, and I remember the stunned looks on their faces when I told them that I don't think it's possible to truly live as a Christian in this country. Admittedly, that may have been a bit too direct. However, the gospel makes it pretty clear that following Jesus means caring for those who are most vulnerable, and not just by giving from our excess, but by sacrificing and sharing what we have to ensure others have what they need to live. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 19, Jesus tells a young man who asks what he must do to get eternal life, that in addition to keeping the commandments, if you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me. According to the story, the young man then walks away, sad, because he had great wealth. My own unwillingness to give up all my possessions and follow Jesus was part of why I not only left the Catholic Church, but no longer identified as Christian. I took the gospel seriously. I still do. And though I don't embrace institutional Christianity, I do think that Jesus' example of unconditional acceptance, love, and forgiveness, and his preference for the most marginalized among us remains one of the best models that we have of what it means to be human. The preferential option for the poor is a key theme of Catholic social teaching, the body of church doctrine on social, economic, and political matters that provides a moral framework for building a just society. Grounded in the gospel teachings and principles such as human dignity, solidarity, and the common good, the preferential option for the poor centers those who are marginalized as a guideline for living one's faith, including our choices and actions. Sadly, those who are most vulnerable are getting pushed further and further to the margins. And there's nothing Christian about that. So, how can my UU faith help me? Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It can turn a stranger into a friend. The injured stranger in need who I encounter on the side of the road could be a neighbor who is undocumented, hungry, or ill. Those feel like situations in which I could comfortably do what I can to help and turn the stranger into a friend. But what if the stranger is someone on the other side, or even you know who? That's when I will truly need the UU-centered love and gratitude to turn my own heart so that I can be a friend to any stranger.
We come to this place to see and be seen, to teach and be taught, to hear and be heard. I invite you to reach over and nudge the person sitting next to you, reminding them and yourselves that we are gathered here in peace and in authenticity and in intention. We also come to this place to share our joys and sorrows. We will now turn off our live stream to give our community privacy to share. If you have a rare joy or a profound sorrow, Let us take a moment to come more fully into this place. Today, at the beginning of November, which is Trans Day of Remembrance, we think of all of our trans sisters, brothers, and siblings. In a time when being marginalized is so dangerous, we know that this way of being human in the world is as old and natural as humanity itself, and that to express oneself authentically is necessary for us all to live well. We are grateful to those who live with bravery and joy. Let us take a moment to take a deep breath. And now, please remain seated for a reprieve of How Could Anyone Ever Tell You?
Things Haunt by Joshua Jennifer Espinoza. California is a desert, and I am a woman inside it. The road ahead bends sideways, and I lurch within myself. I'm full of ugly feelings, awful thoughts, bad dreams of doom, and so much love left unspoken. Is Mercury retrograde, someone asks? Someone answers, no, it's something else like that, though. Something else like that. That should be my name. When you ask me, am I really a woman, a human being, a coherent identity, I'll say, no, I'm something else like that, though. A true citizen of planet Earth closes their eyes and says what they are before the mirror. A good person gives and asks for nothing in return. I give and I ask for only one thing. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Bear the weight of my voice and don't forget. Things haunt. Things exist long after they are killed.
I have a friend who lives in Kansas City. He's my neighbor. He lives here so that his daughter can receive treatments at Children's Mercy, specifically. Recently, on his way to work, he stopped to get gas, and 3 unmarked SUVs pulled up, flashed some official papers in his face, and took him to a detention center. His wife, their 8-year-old, their 5-year-old, and their 1-year-old lives are shocked, left without income or security. How could she feel safe to drive down to Hospital Hill now? We, as a friend group and neighbor group, are so aware of how vulnerable she is. I've stayed up at night imagining the conversations she's having to have with her children that no one should ever have to have with their children. We do what we can as a neighborhood, get the kids to school so that she can get a job to support the household. The kids put on happy faces and we raise money for rent. But there is nothing that can fill the hole that has been made in their lives, because what they really need is their dad. And everything else is meaningful, but not the thing. Where is he being held? Is he being fed? Rumors of terrible, inhumane conditions swirl. Will he be able to communicate with his mother? We live in a scary time when so much is twisted up and confused, and so much that has been built to serve humanity seems to be being torn down. For the direction our country has veered so sharply is what many now call white Christian nationalism, where the separation of families and ethnic targeting and xenophobia is taught as the true form of Christianity. And from the highest office, the scripture is being used to enforce supremacy systems and abuse those who are vulnerable. I'm like, what book are they reading? Because the one I'm reading is actually very clear on this specific issue. One might even say that the Hebrew Bible and Christian scriptures are painting an extremely simple message that we should do unto the vulnerable as we would have done unto us in our vulnerability. Leviticus 19:34, the stranger who lives as a foreigner with you shall be to you as a native born among you, and you shall love him as yourself. Exodus 23:9, do not oppress a foreigner. You yourselves know how it feels to be a foreigner because you were foreigners. Leviticus 19:9 through 10, when you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap to the very edges of the field or gather the gleanings. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner. Deuteronomy 10:18 through 19, he loves the foreigner residing among you, giving him food and clothing. And you are to love those who are foreigners, for you yourselves were foreigners. Exodus 22:21, do not deprive the foreigners among you of justice. Numbers 15:16, I am the Lord, and I consider all people the same, whether they are Israelites or foreigners living among you. Need I go on? I'd really like to. Luke 31, whoever has 2 shirts must give one to the man who has none, and whoever has food must share it. Matthew 25:35, I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. Luke 10:27, you shall love your God with all your heart and all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. Romans 13:8, owe no one anything except to love one another. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. Love does no wrong to a neighbor. Can I get an amen? Let us be proud of our heritage, of the clarity on this topic. Let us be proud of how many of our religious forebears for century and millennia fought for universalism, how clear they were about the power of love and about centering those on the margins. Universalism has always been so threatening. It dissolves the power structures that afford some people more rights than others. and yet its certain clear sound of the inherent worth and dignity of all people cannot be denied. It touches us. Universalism, along with its people, have held up under pressure, stood strong on the most simple and joyous and regular belief that humans are good and that it is our duty, nay, our honor, to serve those who are weary, who are grieving, who need community, for we too have been and will again be weary, grieving, insecure, in need, and one day foreigners seeking shelter. So I want you all to go out and be Universalists. I want you all to go out and be extra. Do kind and generous things just because you can, just because it feels good, because you believe in it so strongly that when you see someone on the margins, or when you hear about someone being taken or taken advantage of, that you let your heart be known by those in your beloved community, however you can do that. That you respond the way you would want to be responded to in your vulnerability, because it does not hurt any of us to care for each other. It builds each of us up. When you see the stranger who lives as a foreigner, you shall love her as yourself. When you yourself know how it feels to be a foreigner, do not deprive foreigners among you of justice. Remember that all people are the same. And with all your strength, love your neighbor as yourself. Owe no one anything except to love them, for the one who loves another has indeed fulfilled the law. Love does no wrong to a neighbor. Today, our Donate the Plate speaker, Tanya Carson, representing Blackout, is here to speak to us. Blackout puts into action our commitment to care, love, dignity, and joy of the Black queer community.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here. And I was actually not supposed to be here. Our CEO, founder, and president, Sean Gilmore, was supposed to be here. He's a much more dynamic speaker than I am. And I am very introverted, and this is like my worst nightmare. So, thank you. But Blackout, I'm the director of donor impact at Blackout. I'm basically the grant writer. But I guess I do a lot more than that. Blackout is here to serve the Black LGBTQ+ community unapologetically. We are very committed to this community, and we serve all people, of course, that come to us for our services, which are rooted in HIV prevention, education, and treatment. And so we do a lot of HIV testing, STD testing, that sort of thing, and treatment, and get people connected to healthcare that they often can't find themselves, or they don't have folks that look like them. They have just a lot of barriers and challenges to getting the healthcare that they deserve and need. And so at Blackout, we are committed to them. And again, like I said, we serve everyone, regardless of age, gender, sexual orientation, whatever. We welcome everyone. We serve about 20% of our membership, of those we serve, are non-Black. And when we ask them why they come to Blackout for their health care, so much as that we have, they say it's because it's the way we do things. We're very warm and welcoming. Our space, our clinical space, is actually in a building in Columbus Park, which is just east of the River Market area. And it's a building that is actually Rashawn's home, and he gave it up basically. He still lives up in the top floor, but he gave it up for it to be both our clinical space and our admin space. And so that's where we have our clinical services. It's set up as a home. It's very warm and welcoming and has nothing in it that is very clinical and cold. And so people come to us for those reasons. And we also have a space in Midtown on the streetcar line. It's at 3601 Main. We call it the Black Box. And it's really the area's first and only space really dedicated to the Black LGBTQ community. And so we've had a lot of great events there. We will have a clinical space there up and running soon. And we're planning on having at both our spaces, our clinical spaces, to be able to do primary care, because a lot of people, they come to us initially for HIV testing or education, that sort of thing. But they really want primary care. And so we're working on getting that up and running too. And so I did provide a video that I'd like to show you that really shows the true spirit of who Blackout is, much better than I'm telling you about it. But I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you and spend this time with you and just feel your love. Thank you.
Our focus here in Kansas City is providing healthcare access to the entire Black LGBT community. It's not always easy for us as a community to find the care that we need in a place that we feel safe and comfortable and welcome. But at Blackout, you're guaranteed that experience every time you walk through the door.
My experience as a Blackout member has been a great adventure. I consider Blackout as a family, one of belonging. I don't feel excluded. Something that is unmatched. You can't find it anywhere.
It really created a space where I can genuinely just be myself. These people would literally treat you just like y'all been knowing each other your whole life. It's a place where you would want to be. It's a place where you would want to invest your time, and they want your input too.
It's absolutely revolutionary. Like, there are almost no spaces like this, no organizations that do exactly what Blackout does. For us to have this kind of space and this kind of care for the Black queer community, especially in a city like Kansas City, I think it's really important.
From the hospitality to the community events to the care that we see every day, it's warm, embracing, welcoming. They're giving me all of the tools, the building blocks of being able to take care of myself, being able to spread the information to others, relate to people, share stories. It's really nice.
What it really is about is folks who are showing up fully as themselves, as unapologetically Black and unapologetically queer. We just want to make sure that our community, which is so often left behind, is prioritized in this one setting through the services and partnerships that we offer for the benefit of a community that's too often not even considered.
So thank you for that, and I invite you to visit us at blackout.org. and to follow us on socials, especially Instagram. And if you have any questions, I'll be outside. But yeah, just get to know us, and we're here for everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanya. The work of the church depends on us, our generosity of time, wisdom, and financial resources. And the offertory today will be collected for Blackout. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared values.
Follow the road I will travel on.
Let us affirm that we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise as you are willing and able for our closing hymn, number 86.
Blessed Spirit of my life, give me strength through stress and strife. Help me live in dignity. Let me know serenity. Fill me with compassion. Clear my mind of fear and confusion. When my thoughts flow restlessly, let peace find a home in me. Spirit of great mystery, hear the still small voice in me. Help me live my wordless creed as I comfort those in need. Fill me with compassion, be the source of my intuition. Then, when life is done for me, let love be my legacy.
This week, I invite you to give a good, hard, open-hearted look at your universalism, that love may be your and our legacy. Go in peace.